Welcome, motorsports fans, to an edition of Fundy Motorsports Special Event. Today we have a 100-lap feature at Petty Raceway. I'm Don Ferguson. Joining me in the booth here today is Mary Jean Brown from MASCAR. Glad to have you along. Give us your expert commentary. Right now we're having the official lineup for the 100-lap feature. First up in our feature, car number 99 is Greg Seward. He's from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Next is 24 Scott Livingston, and he comes from PEI.
Third position, Ed Hayden, car number 10 from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Fourth is 31 Sean Conrad. Now he lives in St. John, but his father brings a car each week from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
That must make it kind of difficult not being with your car all week.
Well, I don't think he has time to do a lot of work on it. I think his dad and their team really does the work, but he's really good. Rookie this year, excellent driver.
Okay, next up is car number 49, Cy Harvey. He's from Elmsdale, Nova Scotia.
02 is the car in sixth position, and that's Mike McKenzie, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Seventh position, car number 92, Dean Clattenburg, second-generation driver from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Eighth position is Steve Henderson from Truro, Nova Scotia.
Following him in ninth, number 2, Terry Clattenburg from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
48, Jim Dunn from Salisbury. He's a local from here, and this is, I believe, his second race so far of the season, so I imagine he was here to show his fans his car and how good he could do.
And all the way from the Rocks, St. John's, Newfoundland, car number 30, Doug Stokes.
He's another one. They keep the car in Halifax, work on it, and he flies in each week to watch a race, so that's really dedication.
Certainly is. From Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, number 33, Bob Ewell.
84, Pierre Arsenault from St. John, New Brunswick.
Car number 6, George Koskulic. He hails from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
14th position, Mike Ryan. Again, first race of the season, and he's from Moncton, Nova Scotia. Not Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay, he's followed by Roger Miller, car number 80.
Kenneth Cook, I believe.
Cook, Nova Scotia.
So he's really a long haul. The next is 13, John March, and he really lives in St. George, and his car originates from St. John, New Brunswick.
This year, he's the only driver hailing from the St. John area on the tour, is he?
Yes, he is this year. No, we have Pierre Arsenault, number 84. We have 2 cars from St. John this year.
All right. Car number 44, Wayne Smith, hails from Halifax.
Then we have 50, Frank Fraser from Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia.
Car number 11, Frank Williston from Chatham, New Brunswick.
17, Paul Hivert follows that from Shediac, New Brunswick.
The 00, a second-generation driver, Scott Fraser from Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia.
Then we have 77, Dave Gorvet from PEI.
And rounding out the field, car number 21, Dave Pierce from Blockers, Nova Scotia. Dave definitely had some action in the heats leading up to this.
Yes, and 77, Dave Gorvet and 21, Dave Pierce were able to make the field today due to their point situation. They are high up in points, so 22 cars get to qualify, and then the other 2 are provisional starts due to points.
There you have it, 24 starters. They're going to be going for big points, 80 points, I believe, for winning this
feature tonight. We have 5 points for the most laps led, and then we have 5 points for the first lap that they raced the evening. So there's extra points that they can be given for those positions.
Well, there you have the drivers. We also have a third person on our crew here down in the pits who's going to be talking to lots of the drivers, getting their commentary. That's going to be Andrew LaRue. How are things going down there today, Andrew?
With me is Jim Dunn. Jim, where are you from?
Moncton, New Brunswick.
And how do you feel being a rookie on the tour?
Well, I've been out of racing for 10 years. I raced quite a bit before, but it's about the same. It'll come back to me after a few races.
What did you race before? What type of car?
We run the modified cars, like basically the same cars we're running here now.
What do you think of the track condition? Is it not too bad, or?
Yeah, it's a little bit slippery, but of course, if you had rain, it's muggy, so it's going to be like that until it cools down, you know. Not too bad.
Okay, then. Well, good luck today.
Thank you very much.
With me is Bob Ewell. Bob, where are you from?
Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Come all the way up here to race, eh?
Oh, we travel every weekend.
Yeah. How many races have you been in this year so far, probably?
I think this is the 6th this year.
How have you done so far?
We've had motor problems and a little bit of suspension problems, but things seem to be starting to come around. We're finishing up in the top 5, but the cars ran a lot better before.
It's Scott Livingston. Scott, where are you from?
I'm from Sherwood, PEI.
So you go all over to race?
I have been. I've got a limited schedule this year because of financing, but you know, we're doing as much as we can. We like to come to Petty. It's a lovely track here, right?
How many races have you run so far this year?
Just the one on the island this year.
Where'd you finish in that?
We won our first heat race, and we finished 9th in the final race that was rained out.
With me is Paul Hebert. Paul, where are you from?
Shediac.
And so you're almost local here, sort of.
I guess so. You call it that, yeah.
What do you think of the competition here?
Oh, it's real keen, real tough. A lot of good cars here.
So how do you think you'll do?
Oh, it's hard to say. With any kind of luck, I might come in around the top 5 or something.
Terry, do you feel any pressure being the points leader going into today's race?
Not really. You know, this early in the season, you just kind of take it one race at a time because anything could happen. We got a dozen cars that could finish up there, so it's really too hard to tell. But it's always better to be ahead than it is be behind.
With me is Doug Stokes. Doug, where are you from?
I come from St. John's, Newfoundland, and I come over every Friday. I fly in, and I sort of split myself a little between the MASCAR Tour here in Atlantic Canada and the American Canadian Tour, which does the Eastern United States and a few races in Canada.
How have you been doing in the other racing?
Well, so far this year, last year we did not too bad in the ACT race, which is the American Canadian Tour. We were up in the top 10 a few times. This year we've had fairly good finishes in MASCAR, so we've been staying here. The first ACT race we'll be running will be in Halifax.
What do you think of the competition here?
Well, every year the competition is getting better and better, and this year we have any amount of cars, like at least there's 10 to 12 cars that are capable of winning any race this year.
I see that you're running in about 8th place here. Is that satisfactory, or would you like to be doing better?
No, we consider this year anything less than a top 3 finish we're not happy with at all. We're running in 8th. We've been up to 6th. Most of our finishes have been 5th and 6th. However, we had a clutch go in Antigonish, therefore we only finished 21st, and that's why we're at 8th. But in the top 8 cars, like, the points are pretty close, so a good race here today could move us up into the top 5 very easily.
Scott Fraser. Scott, where are you from?
Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia.
So you travel all the way up here to race?
Yeah, we travel all over the Maritimes to race these cars.
How many years have you been racing?
This class, I've been racing 2, and I've been racing ever since I was 16, so 7 years.
What class did you race in before this?
Sportsman.
How'd you do in that?
Pretty good.
Do you feel any pressure being up near the top of the point standings?
No, well, if you think about it, we try not to think about it. Just go out and do as best we can, race our race, and hope to be at the front to win, but we try not to think about the points.
Dave Gorvette. Dave, where are you from?
From PEI.
You travel all over to race?
Yeah, we follow the circuit pretty well all the way.
How many races have you been in so far this year?
We've been in 6.
How have you done so far?
We've been running in 12 or 14 in position. We're running there in points, but we've had a lot of bad luck, and hopefully it'll come later in the season.
Sean Conrad, who's a rookie on the tour. Sean, did you have some problems out in the track just a minute ago?
Yeah, there was a couple of guys running ahead of me there, and one of them got a little loose coming off the turn. He just about went sideways. There was another fellow ahead of me. I had to go outside of him and got squeezed up into the wall there, just had a little brush with the cement.
Nothing too serious, though?
No, we'll have it back out. We're just hoping everything is as straight as it was. You never know, it might be a little quicker.
Where are you from, Sean?
Well, originally I'm from Halifax. The team runs out of Halifax, but right now I work for Gatorade, actually, in St. John, New Brunswick.
Oh, yeah? What do you think of the competition here?
Oh, it's really tight. I tell you, it's a really good bunch of guys to run with. You know, we've got pretty near 30 cars here now, and they all run really competitive. If you miss your setup a little bit, you know, it takes you from a 5th place car maybe to a 10th place car really quick. So it's good that way. You really got to be prepared on top of your game if you want to run with these boys.
Do you feel any pressure being a rookie?
There's always a little bit. More than anything, when we come to a track like this, the pressure isn't too much because it's the first time I've run this track, for example. So our goal isn't to go out and win the race. Our goal is to finish top 10 and not tear up the car. And if we can do that, not tear up the car very bad, that's minor enough. Hopefully that'll count, or won't count. But no, if we can finish top 10 and not tear anything up, we're doing great. We win. And then next time we're back here, we'll be a lot quicker because I'll know the track a lot better.
Dave Pierce. Dave, how do you feel about today's race?
Well, it's hopefully the weather's going to clear here. It seems to be coming pretty good right now, so I think we can do good if we can stay out of trouble.
Where are you from, Dave?
Far Coast, Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. You traveled all the way here for the race?
Yes, I follow all the races and try to make all the shows.
How many races have you been in this year?
been them all this year. I believe this is our 6th one, I believe, so far this year.
Okay, then, well, good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Here's how the cars fared in the preliminary races today. In heat number 1 was Halifax's Greg Seward taking home the checkered flag. In the second heat, Scott Livingston, the car 24. In heat number 3, we had Ed Hayden. And in the last chance, or the B feature, it was the car 50 of Frank Frazier. Well, thanks a lot, Andrew. The cars are starting to pull away here now. Great to have some insight about some of the drivers up close, personal. But now all that's set aside because they've got one thing in mind.
Win this race.
Art Steves sends them off, gets them in the line. Art does a good job keeping these guys under control, doesn't he?
He's been with MASCAR quite a few years, very loyal. Comes early so the fellows can practice, always there.
It's amazing how many hours some of the MASCAR people put into this.
It takes a lot of time. The off preparations are really a lot, really outstanding that has to be done before any event happens.
And it all pays off because the fans are having a great time. Congratulations to MASCAR for this tour.
It's a good tour. Now the pace car this year is driven by Glenn Brown. He sat out this year. He had car number 27 last year. He decided he'd take a year leave. So just to keep in tune with it, he's offered to drive the car.
And certainly you have a lot of inside knowledge about Glenn Brown, being married to him.
That's right. I'm very proud of him.
As we're proud of all of these drivers.
Very much so.
Now this week they're driving oval. We're going to have a chance to see them doing something a little bit different next week.
Yes, next week they're in the Grand Prix, which is a road course race in Halifax. A lot of the guys are really looking forward to it. It gives it a little different feel for the cars. Just gives them a little something different.
A little left-right action.
That's right. That's right.
And I've heard some comments from some of the drivers about they find those streets very narrow.
They are too. I was in the car when it went around, and those corners come up quick. And they can get high speed.
That should be a very good event. But right now, we're after the event on hand. The cars are starting to pick up speed, getting warmed up. The pace car is dropping off the track. We can expect possibly a green next time around. Art Steves is holding the flag. Green is being displayed. And cars pick up speed in the fourth corner, and they're away. Up in the lead, Mike McKenzie, followed by number 49, Cy Harvey. Once again into the backstretch. So far everything looks clean. Ed Hayden trying to work his way outside of Sean Conrad. Not able to do it yet. Still keeping the pressure on him. Mike McKenzie still holding the lead. Back in the pack. We've got an accident corner 4. Molly Baird slightly to the side of Wayne Smith, but they're able to continue on. Looks like we've got a challenge up front here. Cy Harvey putting all the pressure he can on Mike McKenzie. Stretching out a little bit.
Oh, a little friendly tapping there, do you think?
Cy Harvey's definitely got his foot in it.
Oh, 49 was warned by the flag man. No tapping.
Our Steve's certainly letting him know what he feels about how he wants this race run.
The leaders certainly are ahead of the field.
Surprising that they were able to pull away that hard. I guess they're both pretty fast here at this point of the race.
Third place is Sean Conrad. As I say, he's from St. John, but the car is out of Halifax.
Hayden in car 10 is certainly not letting him get away from him.
Cars are really spread out today.
Second place continues. Mike McKenzie, followed by Cy Harvey. Ed Hayden's trying to get his nose underneath. But Sean, he spins it around. They're all falling up behind him. It looks to me like Ed Hayden seemed to get his nose a bit underneath there.
I believe all the cars got stopped pretty good. Some just spun around to get out of the way. Hopefully nobody was tore up or anything. That's so early in the race.
Certainly caused a traffic jam coming onto the front stretch.
This is when the officials really have to work. They've got to straighten everything out and get them lined up. And
certainly a tough job trying to keep the order.
Well, that's why we have the excellent girls up in scoring. They take care of all that. They'll record down the different positions for the officials.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to bring the pace car out onto the track, get this all sorted out.
The whole idea of having the pace car is to slow the cars down so they can clean up and keep them all organized in file.
Okay, we'll have a quick look at this again in replay. Looks like car 31 and car 10 are involved.
Yeah, 31 tried to cut and hold his position.
Meyer
and
tried
no
to
room.
cut down on, yeah.
May have lost it a little bit too in turn 4, but he was trying to hold his position and he just cut down on number 10.
No real foul, just a racing type
That's
accident.
right.
Everybody wants the same position.
That's right.
They're back under lead of the pace car now, with Glenn Brown at the wheel. I wonder if we could get a race cam in the car there, just like the Elmo cam.
Probably.
Have a shot at Glenn as he goes around. So in the lead is car 2 with Mike McKenzie. Outside of him is 49 Cy Harvey. They were kind of battling it out on their own up there, and now they've got everybody back on the rear bumper, including 10 of Ed Hayden, 92 of Dean Clattenburg.
24 cars are going to restart when we go at lap 17, so we didn't lose anybody.
Frank Frazier did make a trip to the pits. He's now running with no bonnet on it. Have a look at the workings of his motor. He'll take up scratch position.
If you go into the pits during the yellows, then you automatically have to come out in last position. That is one of the rules.
Obviously, he was serious enough to send him through the pits.
It's early enough in the race that he certainly can work his way up through the pack, no problem. So if there's anything wrong with the car, this is the time to fix it.
Get it early.
Everybody's on the lead lap, so they'll cross over positions.
Pace car leads him around one more time. I suspect he'll be dropping off next time around. That looks like Art Steves is giving him one lap to green on lap number 17. We'll be back to green. Pace car is off the track. Bunching together in the backstretch. Looks like Mike McKenzie wants to slow the pace down. He does have the prerogative of doing that. Now he picks up speed. He got the jump on Cy Harvey. He's away. Cars go streaming in the backstretch. So far, so good. Cy Harvey's great on his rear bumper. Much gone out in single file now. Paul Hebert trying to sneak his way up to position inside of very close up at the front now. The first two lead cars lost quite a bit of position because of that yellow flag.
Seem to be a lot closer together now.
Maybe the lead cars had a slight advantage under the cold tires. Now everybody's going up. They're able to stay up. Ed Hayden is definitely knocking.
On the back door of 49. He's waiting for the opening and he'll jump up into that position. A little bit of touch in there.
Mike McKenzie's really pushing hard in the corner. You see a little tire smoke come up. Coming out of the corner. I think Cy Harvey likes it that way. He's really pushing.
Mike and Bryce certainly have strong cars, very strong cars today.
The lead three are followed by the Clattenburg 12. Fourth position, D. Clattenburg. Fifth position is Terry Slaughter. Then we have the 99, Greg Seward. 67 to Stephen Henderson. Cy Harvey is putting all the pressure on here. I suspect he's faster through the corners.
He does seem to be able to go a bit deeper than Mike McKenzie in the corners.
Yes, consistently coming up and knocking on that rear bumper in the corners. Harvey knocking on the back door. Then we have a group of 7 cars. Top 10 cars are broken away from the rest of the field. They're soon going to be coming up the lap of traffic. Not lapped yet, but they're looking to lap them very shortly.
Coming up on the back of the field very quickly, aren't they?
It's going to be tippy show time. Pretty soon, they're going to have to work their way through those cars who are battling amongst themselves. Leaders are now approximately half the straightaway away from coming up to the tail end car at the moment. That's Dave Pierce. Our starter gives him a warning, letting him know that there's some hot cars coming up behind him.
Number 48 just pulled in. Jimmy Dunn, he's from the Moncton area. He drove into the pits. They're going to check things over for him. I didn't see anything happen to his car, so he just must have maybe a coolant problem.
Yep. Now the leaders are starting into the traffic. They're able to get by Dave Pierce. But right in front of them, Pierre Arsenault is having a battle with that car. And they're side by side. That's going to make it pretty tricky. Mike McKenzie looks to the outside. Oh, Cy Harvey taps him as he slows down from the traffic. The 80 car pulls the inside and lets the leaders by. They're running a freight train, as they say. Certainly is a string of them. Oh, car 99. As the leaders go by Pierre Arsenault. Still running nose to tail. 67 car Stephen Henderson slips wide and he almost lost the position, but he gets you back up control. Tail leaders through, and here come back to our leader. So they've got it's got a little bit of open space before he runs through our traffic. There's the way they have it since the restart of this race. Mike McKenzie, Cy Harvey, and Ed Hayden. Nobody's going to let anybody get away from them. Cy Harvey straight up the bumper of Mike McKenzie in the corner. I wonder if he's just biding his time and worrying Mike a little bit. He certainly doesn't want to go to the outside. Like our 3 leaders have broken away from the rest of the cars.
The 4th and 5th, 6th place cars really jumped ahead.
They almost have a full straightaway lead on them right now. Sitting at 4th with Dean Clattenburg, followed by Terry Clattenburg and Greg Stewart.
Number 10, Ed Hayden, certainly trying to get ahead of Cy Harvey for 2nd position.
what's been going on between Cy and Mike.
Just waiting for a chance to jump up.
That's right. See in the catbird seat right now. And all three of them made contact with the water.
Right now, with the top 5 cars, 0, 2, 49, 10, 92, and 2.
Car 99, followed by 67, 30. These cars are kind of broken into packs of 3. Putting the pressure on, I think he feels his car is just a little bit faster. Love to get by. See if he can pull away.
Ed Hayden's certainly working awful hard in 49 Cy Harvey.
Oh, now Cy looks to the outside. He wants to make his move now. Mike know he's there. I said earlier I didn't think Cy Harvey would go to the outside. I was certainly wrong. He went to the outside and made the move work. We have a yellow flag. Wasn't able to see what happened. I don't see any cars. We must have lost somebody over the end of turn 1.
I see Cy Harvey go by him.
Oh, Scott Livingston, I can just see the top of his car over the end of turn 1.
He wouldn't be the first car that's went over there these past couple of races at Petty. That seems like a favorite spot for all the drivers.
It certainly is.
Usually not too much damage is done going over there, unless they're on full throttle, of course, but usually the drivers get back out into the race.
Right, they just kind of tip over, make a soft landing on the other side.
I've seen cars shoot up. It just depends on how bad he went over, if he was shoved over, or if he's accelerator stuck, whatever happened. Cy Harvey's now in the lead.
See what kind of advantage that might give him now.
Yes, because he will start side by side with 02 Mike McKenzie, so Mike might be able to get the jump on him. We're now on lap number 60, so 40 more to go of excellent racing.
Let's check back in the pits now with Andrew LaRue.
Andy, I'm from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and most of my team's from Dartmouth as well. A couple of the fellows from Enfield.
You travel all over the Maritimes racing then?
We do. We really enjoy getting around and meeting people in Cape Breton, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and everywhere we go.
You feel any pressure being near the top of the standings?
Well, if you notice the points, although we're third, it's a very tight battle, and some of the people that we're racing with are real quality teams. So the pressure is on. There's no doubt about it.
So what do you think of the competition that is running in this race today?
It's stiff as usual. In MASCAR this year, there's a number of teams anytime that can win the race. And this week in particular, we're debuting a new car, and we're having some problems with the new car. I hope to get them sorted out by the time race time starts.
Yeah, just a minute ago I seen some smoke coming out of there. Is there something wrong, or what exactly is the problem?
No, we were just doing some work on some things, that's all. Nothing really serious.
Okay, then, well, good luck today in the race.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Looks like they're able to retrieve Scott Livingston's car. From here, it doesn't look too bad. No real damage visible from here.
His crew is ready, waiting for him, so they'll be able to check it all over. Now, during that time, 80 went into the pit and 84 went into the pit, and both look like they're coming back out.
That's Pierre Arsenault and Roger Miller.
That's right. 48 is still in. He had come in earlier, and he's still in, and he'd be down quite a few laps now. And that is Jimmy Dunn from Moncton. 50 is in as well. Frank Frazier, he came in, and they were checking over something in the front of the car, and he's on his way back out.
And the 31 car of Sean Conrad, he had a little work done right on the track. He appeared to be dragging a little sheet metal, but they were able to kick it back in out of the way.
Yes, the officials don't mind doing any minor things like that, so they don't have to leave the track and lose any positions.
What happened, Scott?
Well, me and the 80 car just touched a little. That's a bit of racing, eh? But unfortunately, I got a great crew, but got a few parts here that we can't just fix in a few minutes. And this race will be over before we're out again. So we thought we'd just pack her in for the rest of the day.
44, Queen Smith, Mr. Ken Cameron Center, 33, Bob Ewell, the custom prep letter 25, Mike Ryan, Williston Constructions, Frank Williston is the moment.
Well, as cars cruise around here behind the pace car getting reformed, we're going to have lap cars on the inside and your lead cars on the outside. Lead car is going to be Cy Harvey, who just completed that pass before the yellow came out. Now that positions are reversed, let's see what Mike McKenzie's going to do with them. Of course, Ed Hayden is sitting back in third.
It appears to be at least 17, 18 cars on the lead lap.
And we'll be going back green at lap 64, 26 laps to the finish.
36 laps to the finish.
36. My addition is wonderful.
Fans are certainly getting a good show today.
Beautiful afternoon. We had a spot of a shower earlier today, but it went by, I think, just enough to cool things off for a little. And then the fans came out in full force. We have a full house here today.
And of course, they're seeing an excellent show, as always.
That's why they come out. That's why you can fill these stands every time they race.
It's a good facility. The fans enjoy it. They can see the race very well.
Starter Art Steves shows 1 lap to green. Trying to get everybody bunched up. There's many cars in the track, they take up a lot of space. Pace cars off. Here they come out of turn 4.
18 cars on the lead lap.
Cy Harvey out in the lead. He'd love nothing better. Oh, Ed Hayden's going to try to make a move. And he's blocked by the first lap car. Not able to get inside of Mike McKenzie, but he sure wants it. He's trying to get that inside position. And they come together in the front stretch. Whoa, Ed Hayden had a handful of steering wheel there. He managed to keep her off the walls.
Excellent job keeping it under control.
He was sideways. That, of course, gives a little bit of space, breathing room for Cy Harvey, Mike McKenzie.
Certainly experience in racing helps on matters like that.
You don't have time to think, you just have to do it. Cars are starting to sort themselves out. The lead cars have passed most of the lap cars now. Front 3 cars are broken away again. They were showing 4th, 5th, and 6th place.
Strong fight for 4th, 5th, and 6th, isn't there? They're really working on each other, trying to get
Greg
ahead.
Stewart's trying to make that move to the outside of Dean Clanford. Terry Clanford's slowing up to the inside position. Ed Hayden seems to have that position all day, and he just can't seem to get by the front 2 cars.
not for lack of trying. He's certainly trying to get ahead.
Wonder if he has anything in reserve for some of the later laps.
Cy Harvey way up front. Very, very strong car. Very strong today.
He must feel like he's in a, or Mike McKenzie must feel like he's in a bumper car today. Because first he had Cy Harvey bumping him in the rear, and now he's got Ed Hayden doing the same thing. Ed's trying to get enough off the corner to get down in the inside of Mike McKenzie, but not able to make it work yet.
Mike's a very smooth driver, so he'll just keep working the field and trying to keep his position, holding it strong. They did warn Ed Hayden not to be bumping, not to be touching. Flagman again keeping things under control.
Looking for that little bit extra that he can get off the corner to get on the inside position of Mike McKenzie. Just not able to do it.
It appears that Mike McKenzie can pull him on the straight stretch, and that Ed's sort of a little bit on his bumper in the corner. So Ed's got it in one area and Mike's got it in another.
Balance is out. Nobody's able to get by. Meanwhile, out front, Cy Harvey starting to run into the lap traffic.
They're going for now 5th and 6th. 99 Greg Siebert's trying to go by 92. Dean Plattberg is working on him hard.
He's been working on him for about 10 laps of that outside line, trying to get by.
He's inching and inching. There he got him.
He got him that time.
Top 5 cars now, 49, 02, 10, 99, 92, 2. Falling right in play.
Steve's showing the blue flag because car 13 is being lapped by a couple of the faster cars. Doesn't want them to get in the way. Looks like Greg Seward is able to pull up on 2nd and 3rd place. Looks like he's going to be in the battle with him quite shortly.
When that flag is dropped, it is for the lap cars to pull over, let the leaders go by. They are very good about that because one day they may be in that same position.
Up front, Cy Harvey is pulled away from 2nd position. He's got a whole handful of traffic toward his racer. Going by Pierre Arsenault.
We get to see some of the driving skills right now going through all the lap cars.
Yeah, Doug Stokes.
Actually, he's about to lap the cars, I should say. They're not lapped yet, but they will be soon. Just picking them off one by one, he seems to be.
Now they're into the lap traffic. Looks like they're going to take the outside line out around the slower cars. Ed Hayden's still looking for that position in there. Oh, Mike McKenzie gets loose in the corner. Ed Hayden's not able to take advantage of it. But Greg Stewart's certainly in there now. That gave him a little extra push. Greg Stewart working the outside of Ed Hayden. We have a car spun in the front stretch.
Number 13, John March from St. John is spun.
That's going to bring out the yellow flag.
That's too bad. This is his first race of the season. Hopefully he'll be able to get back on the field. I was watching the leaders, so I didn't get to see what happened there. Did you, Don?
No, I didn't see it at all. He does have a tire rub on the side. If that has anything to do with it, that could have, of course, transpired after the spin.
Or before.
Or before, that's right. Well, that slows them down. Looks like we're going to have a dash to the finish.
Can't be too many laps left. They've been picking them off quickly. Pace car's out. He's picked up the leader, number 49, followed by 02 Mike McKenzie, 10 Ed Hayden, 99 Greg Seward, and 92 Dean Clattenburg.
I'd say the first 4 cars all have a chance. I've been watching Greg Seward pulling in on them, and now that they're all in touch with Cy Harvey, now anything could happen.
Earlier in the day, Andrew asked some of the drivers this question.
Bob, could you tell me what got you into racing?
Yes, my uncle did. When I was about 15, he had an old dirt car down in Seabreeze in Lawrencetown, just outside of Dartmouth, and that started it.
Well, I've sort of done this since I was a kid with the soapbox derbies that we used to make with baby carriage wheels and that sort of thing, so it's always been part of my life.
Well, just started as a spectator and then just took it up at home track on the island, and we run 5 years on the island and just kind of got outclassed there, so we decided to move on.
Well, I was going to school in Toronto, and my father actually had run a couple of maritime modifieds at Scotia Speed World when they first started that series. He'd done that for a few years. When I came back from college, I was interested, of course, and he said, well, roll up your sleeves and learn what's going on here and help us build a second car, and we'll put you in it. So they built me a modified, and I ran 2 years in that division with Dean Clattenburg and Scott Fraser, who also now run MASCAR. And we just moved up this year. Away we go.
When I was a little fella, my dad used to take me to the racetracks when we were camping in Moncton. We used to go to McEwen Speedway and Riverglade, and even when we were in St. John, we go to Hammond River Raceway. I can remember watching Terry Clattenburg and Frank Frazier and Adlard Cormier and those fellas. They were my heroes. And in 1985, I had a chance to drive a street stock car at Onslow Speedway near Truro, Nova Scotia. And after that, I was hooked. It's been an upward climb ever since then until we got into MASCAR. And then in 1987, I was MASCAR Rookie of the Year, and then that really sealed my fate. We were hooked. A lot of people don't realize how much of a family sport this is, and the camaraderie that there exists between all the teams is really what keeps you coming back. When you go race 16 or 17 weekends all summer long, the people around here, they become your family, and it's hard to break away. It's expensive and it costs a lot of time, but it's fun and it's really worthwhile and fulfilling.
Well, it looks like they're getting lined up behind the pace car again. Art Steves, I believe, showing them 1 lap. Let's see if the pace car ducks off this time. He has his lights out.
When we start up, we're going to be starting on 96 laps, 94 laps, only 6 more to go.
6-lap dash.
And it will be, because every one of those top, at least 7 positions, even more, 8, 10, they all are in the run for the first position.
Cy Harvey's got his foot in it. Ending in the green. 6 laps to go. Cy Harvey brings him around in the lead again. Mike McKenzie in second and Eddie in third. 4th place, just barely hanging on. Greg Seward. Looks like they're pulling away just a bit now. Again, Ed Hayden seems to be awful quick in the corner.
He really is. That seems to be his strong point.
Yellow flag. We have a car
Somebody
off the
went over in
track.
turn 4. Lost them completely.
Now we have a yellow flag here. What is that going to entail for the restart?
NASCAR always finishes under at least 5 green laps. So no matter what, it will go 5 green laps.
So it looks like today we might do a little over 100 laps.
The drivers are used to that sometimes.
Well, let's check on the condition and find out who it was that disappeared. He's not seen at all from view. Can you see the number on that car?
11, it is
11.
Frank Williston.
Yeah.
Poor Frank. We'll have to get him after the race and give him a talking to. He's certainly a gentleman, really nice person. No, I didn't see what happened with Frank, and I know you didn't, Don, so I don't know if he sort of went off on his own, got too wide, or got pushed, or broke something, or
It's really hard
not
to
sure.
say.
Yeah. Now, this is his second race so far, as I told you, of the season. He raced last week in PEI and then here due to work commitments.
That's not.
Oh, he's waving to the fans, so he's okay.
And that's not
And
certainly
he's
not
giving
going to
them a
help
smile.
in the point standing. In order, like he is behind, he has to try to catch up, and this isn't going to help him at all today. Well, I hope he had an enjoyable day anyway.
He looks like he did. He was smiling to the fans and giving them their waves, so. A lot of the crews here, too, are family run. As I said, 31, his father works in the car, and he is a pit, and probably brothers and relations that come. A lot of it's that. For the dedication that is given, I think it really helps to have family members because they're the ones that will put up with the long hours and do that. And a lot are friends, too, you know. But,
and that helps a lot with family because if your family isn't with it, then you don't see them for the weekend.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't think of one driver out there that doesn't come with his wife and children, and the wife is certainly in the stand supporting him and cheering him on, and his children and friends and relatives, and that's what we get every week. It's very family-oriented, NASCAR is.
And when they're not racing, they're outside in their trailers and their camping homes.
That's right. Some will come and they have the motorhomes, tents, whatever. Some will stay in hotels. Very, very loyal people.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the drivers. Our Steve's showing them the green.
5 laps to go.
5 laps to go. It's going to be 5-lap dash. Let's see if Cy Harvey's able to pull away any. It appears he is able to get a slight jump on Mike McKenzie. They're spread out a little bit. Looks like the top 4 cars are going to be the ones that are going to be racing here. I wouldn't count Greg Seward out here at all.
No, he's very strong car.
I think it's nail-biting time. Cy Harvey able to pull away just a bit in the straightaways.
Here comes the 2 to go. This is the run.
Looks like Greg Seward's attempting to get to the outside of it. He's very close to the wall that time.
It's certainly holding its position.
Meanwhile, Cy Harvey just getting a little bit of breathing room out there.
White flag for Cy Harvey.
And
he's going to get
it. It's going to be Cy Harvey takes the 100th lap.
Excellent. Followed by 02 Mike McKenzie, 10 Ed Hayden, 99 Greg Sieber, 92 Dean Plattenberg, 2 Terry Plattenberg. Excellent run tonight.
Excellent racing as they going up the backstretch. Obviously, Mike McKenzie is giving Cy congratulations.
He certainly worked himself up well, didn't he, right there?
The minimum for Buick as they bring him up front here to say hi to you, the race fans, before you head out and get ready, of course, for the big Grand Prix.
Well, Mary Jean, it certainly has been really enjoyable working with you today.
Thank you very much for asking me. I really enjoyed myself.
And I hope everybody comes back next time here at Petty Raceway. If you can't make it here, keep watching for Funny Motorsports Magazine. We'll keep you up to date on the NASCAR Tour.
With me is Cy Harvey, winner of the NASCAR 100-lap feature. Cy, how do you feel?
Feel pretty good. It's been a long time coming, and one of the hottest races I think I've ever been in, but I think I owe pretty well everything to Frankie Frazier here. He got me dialed in. see the results. So hopefully we can keep doing better.
Did any of the stoppages hurt you at all, or did
Other than the heat just terrible.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Here's Mike McKenzie, who finished second in the 100-lap MASCAR Feature. Mike, how do you feel about today's race?
Tired, for starters. I was real pleased. The new car worked good. It seemed to slow down after a while. After the race, the latter part of the race, the car seemed to slow down a bit. So we've got to work on that, but we've got lots of time to do that.
Did any of the stoppages affect you?
Well, I guess maybe on the when you're under green, you don't really notice your fatigue as much as you do when you're under yellow. When you're under yellow, you really get tired. You really feel the warm air up in your face, and you can't breathe very well. So it really takes the good out of you.
Oh, well, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ed, how'd you feel about today's race?
I felt good and comfortable in the car. We were working on the car all afternoon. I got to take my hat off to the crew. They're the guys who put me here, really. We got some lucky breaks on the draw, and we had some breaks in the race, but the car was working really good, so we were able to take advantage of it. I got to compliment Cy and also Mike for running a real strong race.
Did any of the stoppages hurt you, or did they help you out a little bit, maybe?
With the weather being so warm, the car went up on temperature, so I had to keep gunning the engine to keep the coolant temperature close to 230. There was a couple times when I wasn't watching, it was up around the 250 zone. It had me nervous, so I really buzzed it around in the caution. My foot got hot, but I'm okay.
Okay, well, congratulations on your finish today.
Thank you, Andy.
Congratulations to Cy Harvey, his first ever win on the MASCAR Tour. As we leave you today, here's the updated top 10 as of July the 4th.